Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new studio vlog here on my channel. If you're new here, I'm Shannon and I'm a pet portrait and wildlife artist and I specialise in coloured pencils, so if that's of interest to you then keep watching. So today is Monday and I'm going to go straight into recording the next part for my Patreon tutorial. Then my mum and dad have last minute just asked me if I want to go for lunch today, so that'll be nice. But yes, I'm going to just get on with the Patreon tutorial now. Okay, so I'm still working on the hummingbird tutorial. I can't remember how much I showed in the last video. I think I just did the outline. But yeah, I've done all of the bird now and now I'm moving on to the flower. So the fundamentals tier draw the bird and the advanced tier draw the bird and the flower. So yes. Okay, this is what I've managed to get done so far. It took me a while because, again, Paddy was being very unsettled today. He's been very unsettled the past couple of weeks. So I have to sort of wait for him to like sit down and have a chill before I can carry on filming. But yeah, managed to get this done so far. We're going to go out for some lunch now and then I'm going to finish it when I get back. So not too far off done. I think I'm hoping just to get all of the petals done for this video and then I'll do the green bit of the stalk and whatnot in the next video. Hallelujah, we have finished. And this is what it looks like so far. I've had to turn the studio lights off because they end up flickering, so you can't see it too well. But yeah, that took me what felt like a lifetime. It's now 4 o'clock, so a lot of the day is already gone. I don't know where today has gone. Honestly, it took me the best part of all day to do this, apart from going out for food, obviously. I also put the poll up for the next tutorial on Patreon, and so far it looks like Donkey is winning. Oh, Pheasant's doing quite well. There's 25 options, so there's a lot of choice. And I just keep reusing the list. Whatever doesn't get voted on, I use again for the next month. So yeah, there's plenty of choice. I'm not gonna lie to you, my head is absolutely frazzled after trying to film that tutorial. It just took a lot out of me. So I think now I need to just do something that's quite like low effort mentally, something that I can just do with my hands, get on with and not really think too much. So I have got a craft fair coming up on the 5th of August, which is the Garstang show, and honestly, I cannot get him to chill at all today. This is the first craft fair that I'm doing where I've actually got to print all the products for myself and not just buy them online or whatever. So I think I need to do quite a bit more prep ahead of the craft fair to make sure that I've got enough to sell. So if you didn't watch my last vlog, I've got an Epson ET8500 printer and I've been printing greeting cards and gift tags and stuff like that. So I've actually got a couple of Etsy orders that I need to print and like make up as cards. So I might have a bit of time now just making up some cards, you know, getting ready for the craft fair. And I will show you how I've been printing because I was struggling in the last vlog trying to work out what all the settings that I should use are. And I printed a lot of rubbish prints, but I think I've cracked it, nearly cracked it anyway, so I'll show you how I print. Okay, so I'm just going to show you how I have been printing recently. So I use a program called Affinity Photo for all of my designs, like greeting card designs, everything I use this program for. It's very, very similar to Photoshop. Slightly different in some ways, like the settings and stuff can be slightly different, which I have now figured out since trying to print, but the whole like how you edit things is very, very similar. So if you're in the market for an editing software, I definitely recommend Affinity Photo over Photoshop. I go to File, Print, and I select the printer. I don't know why it's doubled both my printers. I'm not really sure why that is, but Epson ET8500. And I've actually created a preset, so A4 Tintoretto Gesso, which is the card that I'm using. And basically that just means that the settings that I've used, I've now named, and whenever I click that, it just uses the same settings every time. So the problem that I was having when I was printing straight from the PDF was that it came out with like a white border on the edge, which is not ideal for greeting cards because I'm trying to use like the full length of the A4 paper. So I figured out that I could do A4 borderless on here. So A4 borderless, and then print the entire document, shrink to printable, and then document layout, yep. Yeah. Oh, and then colour matching. I watched a video that said you need to select colour sync to try and make it match the colours of the document as closely as possible. I have tried it with the Epson colour controls and the colours came out really weird. So yeah, that's what I've been clicking there. Paper handling, yeah, whatever, that doesn't matter. Cover page, that doesn't matter. Print settings. Now this is where it gets a little bit confusing because there are loads of different like paper presets for this particular Epson printer. So like ultra premium, premium photo, glossy photo, like all different settings. And I've tried pretty much all of them to see which one works best. And for some reason the plain paper, bright paper, bright white paper works best for this card that I'm printing on, which is the Tintoretto Gesso, like I said. And you can click here for best quality print, and that is what I did wrong last time because I was just printing like normal quality. So yes, that is the settings for that. And then I don't really know what I'd do for the rest of them. But yeah, I've got loads of ink left. It's not really gone down that much. So I'll just print that. And it does take like a few minutes to print. It's not the quickest, but yeah, I'll show you how that looks when it comes out. As you can see, it's quite slow to print, but it really doesn't matter if the print quality is good to me because I'm not printing like bulk loads of cards. If you are trying to print loads and loads of cards, maybe consider the speed at which the printer prints. But yeah, I think it's slower if you're printing at the best quality, like I showed you on my laptop. But yeah, it's worth it for a really nice quality. There we go. So that is the print quality. I really like it, and I think I've improved on the colours and stuff in the print. So I'm just going to work on cutting these out and scoring the card with these. As you can see, I've put a little line there on the print, and I just use that as a guide for scoring the card so I can fold it. I do get it wrong quite often, which is very frustrating. I still haven't mastered the art of card scoring just yet. I've actually got a batch of like second stuff that I'm going to take with me to the craft fair and just put in a little basket, like everything £1. Anything that's got like imperfections, isn't printed 100% perfect and stuff like that. So yeah, I think they'll probably sell anyway. What are you doing? Are you trying to play? Oh, you got sleep in your eye. Oh. I bought this guillotine from Amazon for about $15.99, I think it was, and it's pretty good. For some reason, the cards print out ever so slightly on an angle, which makes it really hard work for doing the scoring and stuff. I think that's why I haven't quite perfected it yet, but I've just been using the lines on the paper cutter as a bit of a guide. But yeah, that is how it looks now. That is the first step done for the gift tags. Okay, now for the gift tags, I bought this really nifty little gadget. I'm actually obsessed with using this. It's like one of my new favourite things. So I use this one, and it is basically a corner cutter. So you can just nip the corners off. Paddy really doesn't like the sound of it. Anytime I use it, he just hates it. But anyway, that is what it looks like. So just takes the corners off. Sometimes I have to do it twice because I don't get it in the right angle, but see what I mean there? It's done that a little bit shorter than the other side, so I have to put it back in. Make sure that I get it right. But yeah, I got this from eBay, and it was really hard to find a corner cutter that did this sort of style. They were all like the rounded ones, so I'll leave a link to that too, because yeah, it was a bit trickier to find. Paddy's just running around in the garden outside. So now I use my little hole punch. I can't remember where I bought this. I got it a while ago for doing my bookmarks. And I literally just line it up. It's going to be hard for me to see. And there you go. Okay, now I've got this like crazy ball of twine that I use for the gift tags. And I've got this little piece that I've cut off, and I just use to like measure the twine so that they're all the same length, and I just use it every time. And I've got these little like ribbon cutters, and I just hold them right on the end there rather than here, because they tend to be a bit sharper cutting if I hold them there. And I just cut off all the little bits of twine, so it just makes it so much easier using this like piece as a guide. And I really like the rustic look of this twine, so I just fold it in half and pop it through. I like to make sure they're both the same length because I'm very particular about that. I like everything to be perfect. And there we have it, a homemade gift tag. So they don't take that long to make. Obviously it takes like a little bit of time to do it, but I think if I was to do like a bulk load of gift tags, I'd really get into the swing of things, and I would like make like all the corners at once, like do all the twine at once, and then it's a little bit quicker, but I'm just showing you how I do it here. And I've got these little cellophane bags. They're made from a bio-based film. They're compostable, biodegradable and recyclable. And I think I got these from Amazon, but the company sell on Amazon and Etsy, and I have bought from them from Etsy before, so I just like bend them round like that. I've got a few different sets that I'm doing that have different designs in them. So I just put the same one at the front every time for each set, and then I know which is which. There we go. And I've got some craft card ordered that I'm gonna like cut to size and put in the back, and then on the back I'm gonna put like a printout of the designs, so then you know which ones are in there. So yeah, they're not fully finished just yet, but this is the steps that I can do now to prepare for the craft fair. So yeah, I'm making good progress with those, and I'm just doing them as and when I get a chance. These are my 2 Etsy orders. Thank you so much if either of you are watching. But yes, I'm gonna get on now with some more like printing and whatnot, so I'll probably catch you up tomorrow. Hello. It's Tuesday today and I've done all of my freelance work this morning, and I'm just spending a little bit of time working on some product photos for my Etsy and my website. So if you've watched any of my old vlogs, I used to individually take every single photo for my greeting cards. I'd set up my little tables and my eucalyptus and all that kind of stuff, and I would literally take every single picture, so they were all slightly different looking, and I'd have to set up that every time I wanted to post a new design. But I kind of realised that was a little bit like time consuming and wasn't really working for me anymore, especially since moving house. So I thought I really need to get a quicker way of doing this. So recently I've been mocking the product photos up instead. And pretty much all I do is use one of the pictures that had like the most like straight card on it, and I've overlaid it. I'll show you how I do it actually. Right, so this is an image of one of my greeting cards that I've taken, and I've overlaid a white square on top. So I needed to make sure it was very like straight on, and then I've added the artwork on top of that layer. So it's just the scan of the original artwork, and then on top of that I added a photograph of a piece of hammered cord that I found on Google. So I then made it a little bit less opaque, and then it's less obvious, so that's what it would have looked like, and then I've made it so it's really subtle. And yeah, that's all I have to do now. For every new card that I add to the website, I just change the mock-up. That saves me a lot of time and it looks way more consistent, which makes my brain really happy. I like things to be consistent, and it was bothering me that they all looked ever so slightly different. But now I'm just going to work on a few more of these, and then I am going to edit my Patreon video that I filmed yesterday, and then I'll catch you up later. Okay, I have finished all of my editing and whatnot, so while that video's exporting, I'm just going to work a little bit more on Bella, because I feel like I haven't actually sat down and caught up with you and chatted properly yet in this vlog. So I have actually got a commission that I'm working on at the moment, which is like my main priority as far as drawing goes, but it is a gift and I don't want to risk spoiling the surprise, because I've said that I'll keep it off social media and stuff, and yeah, I don't feel confident sharing it on here at the moment till it's been gifted. So just while I catch up with you, I thought I'd carry on working on Bella, which is the commission for my cousin, so it's a gift from me. So I've just been working on it as and when I can, and yeah, so I feel a little bit like, not stressed, but I feel a bit chaotic this week because I'm going away next Monday and Tuesday to Thorpe Park with Scott. We're going down on the Monday morning, going to Thorpe Park during the day, then staying over in a hotel and coming back on the Tuesday. And that is the week before I do the Organising show, so that's 2 days out of that week that I could use for the prep, which is why I've been trying to do a lot of prep work this week, just to save myself the stress of trying to pack it all into 3 days next week. So I've been having a little think about Christmas recently, because you've got to think ahead, and as soon as it gets to like midway through to the end of summer, you have to start really thinking about it. So we've actually got a holiday booked for September to Ibiza, although I don't think we'll be going on that particular holiday. I think we're going to have to change it because Scott's mum's actually on holiday too, so we need her to be here to look after Paddy. So anyway, my point being, I'm going on holiday at some time towards the end of the year, whether that's like October, November time. So that is like usually my valuable like Christmas commission time. And last year I just was so stressed out with Christmas commissions because of the whole Royal Mail strike and all that kind of stuff. It really affected commissions for me last year because I felt like I had to get them all done really quickly to make sure I didn't miss the cut-off point for the postage. And I found that I don't enjoy the run up to Christmas that much now that I do this for a living. I don't not enjoy it, but I find it really stressful and overwhelming trying to pack all of my Christmas commissions into that like really busy period. So this year I want to do things a little bit differently, and I want to make sure that my Christmas commissions are all done and dusted, finished, sent by the end of November. And then the month leading up to Christmas, I can just enjoy and do Christmassy things and not constantly feel stressed or worried about the fact that I've only got a few weeks left before Christmas and I still need to post out like 2 or 3 commissions, you know, that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna do a post soon on social media and just like make everyone aware that I want to start getting the Christmas bookings in now so that they're ready in good time. Because what I usually find is, like, a couple of weeks before Christmas, I'll get loads of questions about whether I can do any last minute Christmas commissions. And yeah, it's just, they all seem to come very, very late when it's too late and I don't have time for it. And even if I did have time to do it, the postage and stuff would just make it too stressful, and like there's a chance that it could miss the deadline and I wouldn't get it to him in time before Christmas. So I am just going to try and be super, super early with it this year. And even if that means I have to do a couple less than usual, I'd rather not have the money and have the peace and the time with my friends and family and stuff around Christmas. So yes, I think I need to make a point of that to my Facebook followers and stuff soon. So yeah, I'm trying to get organised with that. And I'm booking in the Samsbury Hall craft fair that I did last year. I think I'm going to book it in anyway. I've just had an email from them asking if I want a stall this year. It's a little bit more expensive, but I think everything's a little bit more expensive this year. And it was really busy, so I can understand, like, it's pretty good value considering the amount of people that were there. Like, I've paid more for other craft fairs that have been dead. So yeah, I'm excited for the Gorstang show though. That hopefully should be a busy one. I didn't do it last year because I was in Greece for my cousin's wedding. But I really wanted to do it, so I thought I can't miss it this year. It's kind of like a country show with like horses and cows and dog shows and stuff like that. So it should be the perfect audience, the perfect customers there. And it's very, very local, so people like to see stands from people that like live close by and whatnot. Right, anyway, I'm going to stop babbling on now and do a little bit more on this. Okay, so I got a little bit carried away and I ended up carrying on working on Bella's portrait because I just felt like I was really in the mood for drawing Bella today. And yeah, I think when you're in the mood to draw something, you've just got to go with the flow because that's when you can do like your best creative work. So yeah, I'm really happy with the progress, and because I can't share the other portrait on my Instagram and Facebook, I think it's nice to have a little update on this one too. So I also filmed a reel of some of the progress too, so I shall get on with editing that later on. And then I'm gonna go to the line dancing class. Hey darling, you've been a very, very sleepy boy today. Thank you. Thank you for the paw. Thank you. Hello, I am just out for a walk with Paddy. I don't often come on my own with him anymore because it's just really hard work walking him on your own. For some reason he likes us both to be there, so we've been taking him in the evening, but yeah, just thought I'd bring him out because it's a bit nicer today, got a bit of sun, so just having a little lunchtime walk. But yeah, it's never easy getting him out the house. He doesn't like walking straight from the house, which is very typical of English Bull Terriers. If anyone has one or knows anyone with one, you'll probably know that they're renowned for being extremely stubborn on walks and only going where they want to go and sitting down and not budging if they don't want to walk. So I have to literally breadcrumb his favourite treats all the way down the lane and the road until he finally gets going. It's very difficult to try and build up the momentum with him, but once he gets going, that's it, he's fine. He's doing his little happy trot. Just had a look at the weather forecast and it's due to rain at tea time, so I think we did the right thing coming for a lunchtime walk. Hello. I took the fairy lights down and it looks a lot tidier now. I'm glad that I finally did that. But yeah, I've had a really exciting delivery of some Epson fine art cotton textured natural paper. So this is Epson's own paper, obviously. So the good thing about this is that the printer already has the preset for the Epson paper, so I don't have to go worrying about like making sure the colours are right, because hopefully it should just print it right on this paper, but that's what I'm hoping anyway. So I thought I'd give it a go and see if the print quality is any different, because I want to do some prints for the craft fair, and just in general, to be honest, I want to start doing more actual prints, not just greeting cards and stuff. And I don't want to use the same paper that I've used for those. I want it to be different, and hopefully this will print just that little bit better. So yeah, if it does, it does, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. But I suppose there's only one way to find out. So there are just some details if you're interested, and I will show you what it looks like. I got this from a company called Wex, and it literally came next day, even though I didn't choose the next day delivery. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. This looks nice. That looks nice. It's not like massively different to the Tintoretto gesso, and it was quite a similar price. So this one is the Tintoretto gesso and this one is the Epson fine art paper, and as you can see, that one is much warmer than the Tintoretto gesso, so that is one of the key differences. And to be honest, the texture looks very, very similar, like almost identical, and they're both 300 GSM, so they're quite a similar thickness. So I suppose you could probably make cards out of this, the Epson one, if you wanted to. But yeah, let's give it a go and try and print something on it and see what it looks like. Okay, so this is one of the designs that I want to make into prints. So I don't need to get rid of that. I've already like adjusted some of the levels, so making it darker. This is the tricky bit, trying to make sure you get the colours right. I might do it a little bit more warm because they do tend to print out a bit blue on this printer. What I might do once I've like figured this all out, I'll do a dedicated like how to. Let's give this a go. Okay, so it's the Fine Art matte.
On the papers and what they actually look like.
Okay, the man on that video said that he printed using the ready-made presets that come with the printer, but then I've also managed to find what I'm assuming is the closest ICC profile preset for this paper. Basically, it's just like the recommended colours that the printer will use for that. I don't really understand it. There's probably way more informative videos on it, but anyway, I just imported it here. I put import ICC profile and I double clicked the one that I'd downloaded, so I'm gonna give it a go printing that version. So I'm just gonna go on the colour, and then I was trying to find it and it was really confusing me, but it's here. Very like easy to miss, but natural textured Epson. So let's give it a go. I'm really nervous. This is where it gets confusing. There's just so many different settings. I'm just going to stick to the plain paper and see what happens. So, wish me luck. Okay. I don't know why it's like purpley orange, but I mean the print quality is good. It's just not the right colours. I think I'm just going to stick to my original preset that I was using for the greeting cards, the one that I just did myself. For some reason, whenever I use like one of the Epson pre-made colour profiles, it just goes really funny. So yeah, maybe we'll try that again and just use the other settings. Okay, that definitely came out a bit nicer that time, if you look at the colour difference, but still looks a little bit red. I don't know. Now I feel a bit stumped again. And I don't want to go wasting loads of this paper. I honestly cannot get my head around this paper. I've just tried printing another Tintoretto gesso sheet to see if it prints nicely, and it does. I think it's just because this paper is so much warmer. It needs like a slightly different colouring, but I just can't seem to get my head around it. I just printed this of a heron card design and the quality just looks so much better. I just don't understand what the big difference is. Like, they all just look really off. I almost just prefer this paper for like doing prints. I don't know whether for this craft fair I should just get some mounts made that match the colouring of this and do just some of my mini prints. Oh, I don't know, I feel so lost with this whole printing thing. Just when I think I've cracked it, I've only cracked one paper type. I think I'm just going to do a few more greeting cards and gift tags and decide what I'm doing print-wise for this craft fair. I've figured out that it's better to use this long tool to kind of like fold the card more cleanly. So I do that first on the outside, just so that I can see where the fold is. Then turn it over. I suppose you could use just like a ruler or something for this bit too. Then I'm just gonna... I used to like drag it across like that, and I feel like that just makes it go a bit funny. I almost prefer the look of it when it's not completely like squished down, like when it still has a little bit of a bounce to it. Yeah, still got so many compostable sleeves from printed.com and envelopes. So I've not had to buy any, but I probably will need to soon. Later on, I had another play around with the Fox print, and I figured out that if I use the Velvet Fine Art paper setting and use the rear paper feeder, it came out so much better. I finally figured it out. Okay, now I'm going to go back to the Burnt Umber 280, start adding a little bit of that brown, start pushing those shadows back in. And I'm just going to start in this little bit here, just darken it up. Doing the top again. There we go, that's the finished hummingbird drawing. I'm really happy with how that turned out. So yeah, if you want to draw this with me, then I'll leave a link to my Patreon down below. And like I said, the fundamentals tier just do the bird and then advanced do the whole thing. So yeah, really like that one. Paddy is his happiest when he's like fully being cuddled by you. Hello. Big yawn. Ooh, my mum and dad gave me this trolley, so I'm gonna organise my stuff in there. Just like any loose bits that I never know where to put them. Just gonna put them in there. So yeah, love an extra bit of organisation. So today I've actually got a hair appointment at 3 o'clock, so I'll be going and getting my hair done. I haven't had it coloured since February when I just had like some of my front bits done. So I'm excited to have a bit of a refresh. And hello. Oh, bless him. And yeah, I'm happy that I've got that Patreon video done. Now that whole tutorial is finished, just need to edit and upload the last video. And I'm gonna get hunting for some donkey references because that is our next chosen tutorial as voted for by my patrons. So I need to have a look for about 4 potential references and then they'll vote on the favourite reference. So might do that now actually. Okay, so I've done all of my freelance work and I've posted the photo reference poll for the donkey tutorial, and I've chosen some like slightly different references. So that one's quite like a standard just headshot, and then we've got this one which I really like. I'm hoping that everyone votes for this one because I love it, and you know me, I love a bit of like sage green, so I love the head colour. And I also like this one. For something a little bit different, I would use like this lovely greenery and just create a little bit more of a landscape with it too. So I'm interested to see if people will pick the donkey on its own or something a little bit more arty. So I just tried taking Paddy for a walk and he was having absolutely none of it, so we've come home. My Patreon video is uploading, so that should be live soon. And oh god, I bit my lip when I was eating my lunch, and for some reason, once I've bit my lip, I feel like I can't even speak properly. Once I've bit my lip once when I'm eating, I do it like every time. I think I've bit it like 3 times now, so it's so swollen. Oh, you can actually see. I've put some Bonjela on it, so hopefully it'll calm down a little bit. But yes, got my new hair, a little bit blonder, a bit of a refresh. I got home so late last night. So I was really tired and ready for bed. I realised when I was out walking, because I took Paddy to the canal, although it was only for about 2 minutes, but I never updated you on what happened to the tawny owl that I found a few vlogs ago. So I took it to the wildlife rescue. They said that it was in a soft release enclosure with a few other tawny owls. So yeah, that was nice. I'm assuming that it'll have been released by now. They didn't really provide me with any more updates, but I just took that as good news. So yes, for anyone that was wondering about the owl that I found on the canal. I don't feel like I'm gonna be able to talk too much for the rest of this day. I'm gonna get on with my commission now, the one that is a secret, that's a gift. I won't show you too much of that. I might film a little bit over the weekend, I don't know, but I'll probably take you to Thorpe Park with me on Monday. So yeah, I don't think this will be the end of the vlog, but I'm gonna get on with some drawing now and stop talking. There we go. I feel like I can share that with you without revealing too much. I feel like that could be any dog. As you can see, it's a spaniel. I'm about halfway done with it, maybe 2/3 done. So on Sunday we ended up going to an English Bull Terrier meetup. I found it through a Facebook group and it was honestly the most adorable day ever, seeing how happy they were, all running round. They all play the same way and it's just really, really sweet to watch. Then after that we took them for a little walk and Paddy made friends with this pig. On Monday we set off super early for Fort Park and we didn't end up getting there till lunchtime. But surprisingly we still managed to get on 20 rides, I think maybe because it was a little bit of a rainy day. But we had the best time. My favourite rides were Stealth and the Swarm. Then we saw this fox at the hotel and we had a really lovely night and set off back home the day after. If you made it to the end of this video, then please make sure to give it a like because it really helps me out. Subscribe to see more videos like this and I shall see you in the next one. So bye for now.